Hey guys, good morning. Today we're gonna cover some debt TikToks. I'm super into debt TikTok. I'm a little nosy. So definitely excited to get started. So let's get started.
Is your plan to pay it off in 6 months? Yeah.
Are you guys in any kind of debt right now?
Mine's pretty minimal, I think. Credit card and a vehicle, probably about 60.
And that's minimal to you.
No, it's a
Okay.
lot.
What's left on the car loan?
53,
What are you driving?
a 24 Toyota Tundra.
How about you? How much debt do you have?
Probably 75,000. Credit cards and then a car loan as well.
What's
Yeah,
your car
some
loan?
Student loans, yeah. Like 60.
60. What are you driving?
I was
You
terrible
rolled
at
over
my
negative
parent-
equity, didn't you?
Yes,
such
I
a good
did.
case
Yes.
study, sure.
Honda Pilot 25. Thank
What's your
you.
car payment?
1,200.
How about your car payment?
982.
I mean, you're just giving away the income every month at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How much student loans we have left?
I probably have 100,000 in student loans.
Okay, add it all up in your head. I think we're doing this for the first time. How much debt do you have total?
I'm going to say at least 180 grand.
Can you tell me
180 grand total in debt is a lot. It'll take a long time to get out of. But I think it's interesting that, this guy, George Kimmel, I think that's how you pronounce it, went to Disney World of all places to ask people about their debt, because, the slogan is the happiest place in the world. But I think it also might simultaneously be one of the most expensive places in the world. So yeah, but yeah, $180,000 in debt is a lot. It's a lot to pay off, and it'll take a good long while. I mean, she said her car payment was $1,200, and I think that's crazy. I know that the average like car payment is somewhere in the 700s now, or I read that somewhere. But $1,200 is a lot, and I think honestly I would cry every month when I got that bill. Um, and presumably they're married or together or something, and between the two of them, they've got a lot to work through. So, all right. Next portion of this video.
Can you tell me, did you guys pay cash for the trip?
For half of it.
The other half is on what?
A Disney card.
Oh, the Disney credit card. What do you get for putting it on the Disney card versus any old other card?
It has 6 months special financing, so there's no interest for like 6 months.
Okay, so is your plan to pay it off in 6 months?
That's
Yes,
the plan.
that
Yes.
is the plan. If we can do that, for sure. Yeah.
That doesn't instill confidence. You're like, if we, because otherwise it's gonna like crank up to what, 29% APR or something crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think like it's cool we're getting the real questions asked about like how people are paying for the trip and to Disney and stuff like that. Since like I said, it is so expensive and they put it on a Disney credit card. I didn't even know Disney credit cards existed. I'm not surprised at all, but I just didn't know that. But I do think that the way they paid for the trip was a little risky, because, as long as everything goes well, you should be able to pay that off within 6 months. But what if things don't go well? Like what if you have some car trouble, God forbid you lose your job or something like that. So I don't recommend doing things like that. I feel like it's an easy way to get yourself into a lot of trouble with a lot of interest or just a whole nother credit card, those types of things. So yeah, I do not recommend doing that, for sure. All right, next part of this video.
Absolutely.
Do you guys have any debt right now?
Yes.
How much?
My student loans, they're about 100,000.
What was your degree?
Business administration,
How much total do you have in debt?
probably around 128,000. I'd say total.
Do you ever feel like, oh, I'll just die with the debt? Like, is there a game plan to be like, I'm going to pay this off in 3 years? Or is it just kind of like,
It's not
I'll
gonna be
make
3
my
years.
payments?
It's gonna be probably in about 15 years. I'm assuming I'll get it paid off. I don't know.
How old are you now?
I'm 22.
If it takes her 15 years to pay off this debt and she's only 22, I mean, she'll be 37 if she by the time she pays it off. And I think that did the math really good. I'm not a math person. But that's wild to think about when you put it in terms of like, I have to pay this off for 15 years. This is going to take me this long to do this. This is how much money I would have if I didn't have to pay it off. Those types of things. I feel for her, I really do, because it sounds like, a lot of it was student loans, and we all know how expensive college is. Um, but I do think that it's something that people do not talk about much when I watch debt TikTok reactions, or at least I just haven't seen, is the mental load of all of this debt. Um, like, she has to think about that for 15 years, think about paying off that debt for 15 years, or, if she somehow doesn't pay it off, it's in the back of her head. Or like people who have like 6, 7, 10 different credit cards, they have to think about things like, you have to keep up with 6 credit cards. You have to keep up with the balance on each one of those. You have to keep up with the interest, the due date, the minimum payment. So not even solely the amount of money that you're borrowing, you're focused on, but just like the logistics of making sure you pay the bills. Sorry about that if you heard my dog. There was something going on outside. But yeah, anyways, the logistics of paying your bills you have to worry about. And I think that um I would wish for anyone, especially the people in this video, to think about, you know, what is the possible like mental freedom that you could be getting from paying off that debt either faster or as fast as you can, getting out of debt completely. And I wish that freedom for everybody, myself included. I'm not there yet either. And I just wish that for all of us. So yeah, to the next one.
I have a total of 6 credit card accounts that I need to pay off, and starting from smallest to biggest, the first one is my Saver One Capital One card. On that one, I owe $461.29. My Freedom card, I owe $1,995.86. On my Capital One card, I owe $4,293.07. On my Best Buy card, I owe $5,708.64. My Chase credit card, I owe $6,702.66. On my Discover card, which is the last card, the biggest one, I owe $10,927.42. This is a lot of credit card debt to have at the age of 25, and I do not recommend it to anybody in their 20s to do this. However, I could either sit down and beat myself up and hate myself every single day for the decisions that I made in the past 5 years, or I could get up and make something out of this. That's my goal with this TikTok account. I want to hold myself accountable to pay this debt off, and I want to serve as an encouragement to others that are on the same boat as I am. Even if you're not in any credit card debt, let this be your reminder to be smart with your money, to make sure that you know where your money is going every single paycheck. Do not let your emotions lead to carelessly spending your money, which is something that I did for several years. I'm fixing it now, I'm taking action, and that's all that matters. I no longer feel embarrassed about the amount of credit card debt that I have. I don't feel ashamed. I just see this as a number. I know that other people have much more credit card debt than I do, and they seem to be fine, so I know that I'm going to be okay. All I ask is that you guys support me on this journey to paying off my debt. If you're on a debt payoff journey as well, let's do this together and let's become debt free. I am tired of seeing these numbers. For a long time, I actually ignored them.
Alrighty. Okay, so the first thing I want to cover is she said towards the end there that she sees other people in more debt and they seem to be doing okay. And I understand what she means, but also I just want to highlight something for all of us really quickly. In my opinion, um we have no idea what's going on behind the scenes for anybody ever, and that applies to lots of things like mental health, um, debt, all sorts of life things, marriage. So when you look at people and you are comparing yourself and you're like, well, they can do it, so I can do it, it's not necessarily like a great thing. Um, for instance, like, if you have like, I don't know, a cousin or something, a neighbor that has a really nice car and a really nice house, you have no idea how they got it. You have no idea how much debt they're in. You have no idea how long they'll be paying it off. You have no idea if they paid cash for it. So particularly in the stance of like keeping up with the Joneses, it's really important to remember that you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes of anyone's life. Um, so what to take away from that, in my opinion, is that we should all mind our business in that aspect and kind of just do what's best for us. However, I understand what she's saying. She's like, other people are in more debt, so I like should be fine to pay this off. And I agree with her. I just like wanted to highlight that because I think that that's a common problem that we all have, especially with the advent of social media and TikTok and maybe in our like parents and grandparents and great grandparents' days, keeping up with the Joneses meant like keeping up with like your friends or your neighborhood, or maybe you had a particularly flashy coworker, but it was like in your immediate circle in your town. Now, keeping up with the Joneses means keeping up with everyone in your immediate circle plus everyone on the internet. So it's just a good reminder just to kind of like we should just mind our business and do what's best for us. Moving on from that. So she said that she's, only 25 and she's in about $30,000 of credit card debt, and that's a lot. And it looks like it's a lot of consumer debt, um, or like a Best Buy card, like a store card or something like that. And um, it's good that she's sitting down and she's saying like, look, I can't, like I've got a problem, I'm in a pickle, I gotta do something about this. And she's really like, trying to hold herself accountable to solve the issue. And I think that's a wonderful thing. She can't change anything that she did last year or the year before or anything like that. All she can do is try to make it better now. So I'm wishing her the best. And then speaking of this creator, go ahead and give her a follow on TikTok, but she also posted another video that I thought would be interesting to watch where she talks about how she got into this situation. I only watched it like maybe like 5 to 10 seconds of it just to pull it for this reaction video, but we'll watch it now.
I know a lot of people wonder how someone gets into $30,000 worth of credit card debt at the age of 25. I will say that for myself, I got married at 20 years old, and from 20 to 25, I basically carelessly spent my money. I never budgeted my paychecks. Every time I tried, I never stayed consistent with it. So I never really knew where my money was going, what I was spending it on, and I never budgeted for anything. So now I'm in the situation that I'm in. I racked up a lot of credit card debt because I spent more than I could actually afford to pay back. And so now I'm deciding to take action and doing something about it, because I could very well be beating myself up every day, living under stress, and just everything that comes with knowing that you owe so much money back to your creditors. So I am deciding to go on a debt payoff journey in 2026. I am going to find ways to make extra money so that I can pay more than just the minimums towards my credit card debt. I know that I can make this happen. I know it's not going to be easy, and it's going to require a lot of discipline and effort, which is something that I'm
All right, yeah. So she talked about how she got married when she was really young and she never budgeted or anything. And so, I mean, I think absolutely, like that's how you get yourself into these situations where you don't create a budget and you don't, or you create one and you don't stick to it. So I really liked like how she's saying that, at the top of the screen it said like no excuses, just honesty. And I mean, I think, yeah, that's what it's going to take, and some good solid planning and sacrificing to help her get out of this situation. So I think it's fantastic that she's out here and she's saying, look, I've got a problem, I'm going to fix it. So yeah, best of luck to her. But that is all the TikToks that I have for us today. So thanks for hanging out with me and watching.